Good evening. My name is Alexander Hagan. I'm the CEO of a small, medium-sized tech company in Silicon Valley. Tonight I'm going to be speaking to you about Ron Paul and Paul Krugman's debate that occurred today. I want to first say that this debate is putting Mr. Paul at a significant disadvantage because Paul Krugman is one of the most highly trained economists in the world, I suppose. Uh, and he has a lot invested in the current system to defend it. Ron Paul is more of a generalist, obviously. He is a politician, a physician, and a person who has immersed themselves in history and looked at society in terms of its positives and its negatives. And he is particularly concerned about the loss of our civil liberties and our individual freedom and our sense of personal responsibility in a system that he calls a warfare welfare state. The question asked Mr. Krugman, who was somewhat condescending towards Mr. Paul. Really, he had no business to be condescending. His question is, for example, in the case of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, there have been estimates that show that these will cost as much as $7 trillion of our $16 trillion debt. Mr. Krugman has been right there in the thick of things since Obama was elected, and there's been no flagging at all in this state that we are enabling to raise money to create an incarceration society where we have a quarter of the world's prisoners, an enormous, massive military-industrial complex protecting us from basically non-existent threats. And what Mr. Krugman's excellent training is doing is facilitating the buildup of a giant totalitarian state that is primarily totalitarian in military and police. We have lost our right to trial, our right to a lawyer. We can be detained indefinitely without trial, and we can be murdered at the order of the president. If that's not fascism, then please tell me what is. So Mr. Krugman is, what if his excellent offices were used by someone like Hitler or Stalin? Would that be preferable to returning to a system that was harder to game and harder to manipulate, which would be a system based around money that was less fungible? So the question isn't entirely whether small government and hard money is always the best solution, but hard money and small government is an excellent solution when you're immersed in a terrible situation of corruption that is accelerating rapidly. Thank you.